Hey, what's going on, Scarefest fans? It's Glenn here from fakeshamp.net. Another week and another chiller from down under. I've got a serial killer film for you this week. And what is it about serial killer films that we love? I love them. I'm sure you're all sick bastards too who love them. And sometimes the more depraved they are, the more we like them. So I've got one here called ACOLYTES, and it is a doozy. All right, well, we're going to keep this one short and sweet because, well, the trailer is short and sweet. And as you can already see, it's also frenetic and it's chaotic and it really doesn't give you time to breathe. Made in 2009, the film is called ACOLYTES and it stars Joel Edgerton, who has gone on to become a staple name on the Hollywood roll call. He wrote and starred and directed The Gift. He was in Warrior with Tom Hardy. And he was the blue guy alongside Will Smith in Bright. Anyway, I'm sure you know who he is. Now, the film is quite deep and it touches on a really sensitive subject, and it's about a group of teenagers who live in fear when a predator who raped them several years ago is released from prison. And one day, while they're walking through the forest, they come across a shallow grave and they discover a murdered girl buried in it. They quickly discover the identity of a notorious serial killer, but instead of turning him into the police, they blackmail him into killing their rapist. It's a pretty unique story. Obviously, it's a very grim subject matter, but it's also presented in an almost coming-of-age way. So fans of serial killer films will definitely get a kick out of it, but so will fans of movies like Stand By Me to some degree. Edgerton is excellent as the sleazy-looking serial killer, and each of these young actors turn over really convincing performances too. The cinematography is really fantastic, and the wooded landscapes are shot with an eerie, almost fisheye perspective, giving the story a sort of surrealism. It was directed by a guy called John Hewitt, whose debut film back in 1992 was called Bloodlust, and became something of a cult splatter flick, and he would actually go on to follow up ACOLYTES with another serial killer film called X, which kind of serves as a really decent companion piece. That's a messed up trailer, and that is a messed up film, and I think you guys will get a kick out of it just like I do. It's available to rent on iTunes and Amazon, and I think you can buy it on iTunes, and I think you can buy it on DVD pretty cheap. On eBay or somewhere like that if you look it up. It won't cost you much at all. So get into it. Be a depraved lunatic like me. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm going to leave. It's good to be with you again. Don't forget to check out my podcast, and then don't forget to check out my other podcast, which I'm sure you've all heard about by now. I think you're stuck with me. Anyway, I'll catch you next week. Take it easy.